On a quiet Monday morning, the ancient stone steps of Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Moon became the scene of a shocking burst of gunfire. A 27-year-old man from the Mexican state of Guerrero climbed to the summit and began shooting at tourists exploring the UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the chaos, a Canadian visitor was killed instantly, while guests from Colombia, Russia, Brazil, and the United States suffered injuries. The attacker, who acted alone, ultimately turned the weapon on himself after security forces wounded him in the leg and moved in to apprehend him. Mexican authorities moved quickly to piece together the motive. At a press conference alongside President Claudia Sheinbaum, the state of Mexico's Attorney General, José Luis Cervantes, revealed that the suspect possessed several books and handwritten notes that referenced attacks in the United States, specifically the Columbine High School massacre of April 20, 1999. That day, 2 teenagers killed 13 people and wounded more than 20 before taking their own lives, an event that sparked a nationwide debate on gun control and school safety that continues to this day. Notably, the shooting at Teotihuacan occurred on the 27th anniversary of the Columbine tragedy, a coincidence officials said was not lost on the investigation. Further evidence pointed to a deliberate, premeditated act. Investigators recovered an AI-altered photograph showing the gunman posed alongside the 2 Columbine shooters, a digital manipulation that suggested a fixation on replicating the infamous attack. Cervantes described the suspect as having a psychopathic profile characterized by a tendency to copy violent events that occurred elsewhere, at other times, and involving other figures. The Attorney General stressed that the act was not spontaneous but rather the culmination of a planned effort to emulate past mass violence. The scene itself painted a picture of terror amid the historic ruins. Witnesses reported that the shooter began firing from atop the Pyramid of the Moon, sending tourists scrambling for cover. Some visitors lay motionless on the ground, pretending to be dead in hopes of avoiding the gunfire, while others fled down the stone avenues toward the site's exits. Security personnel, alerted by the shots, converged on the location. After a brief exchange, the gunman was struck in the leg, fell, and then used his own weapon to end his life. Forensic teams later swept the area and found a semi-automatic pistol, a combat knife, and a bag containing 52 rounds of ammunition. The assailant was also carrying a tactical-style backpack that held an analog cell phone and several bus tickets, indicating he had traveled to the site with the intention of staying for a period of time. The presence of these items, combined with the extremist literature and the altered photograph, led investigators to conclude that the attack was ideologically motivated, rooted in a desire to inflict harm by mirroring a notorious act of violence from another country and era. The repercussions of the shooting rippled beyond the immediate loss and injury. Teotihuacan, one of Mexico's most visited archaeological destinations, saw a sudden drop in tourist traffic as authorities temporarily closed parts of the site for investigation and heightened security. The incident reignited conversations in Mexico about the accessibility of firearms, the influence of extremist online content, and the need for better mental health interventions. Internationally, the link to Columbine drew attention from media outlets in the United States and elsewhere, prompting discussions about how extremist ideologies can transcend borders and inspire copycat acts, even in settings as culturally distant as a pre-Aztec pyramid complex. In the days following the tragedy, memorials were held for the fallen Canadian tourist, and officials from several nations expressed condolences to the victims' families. The Mexican government pledged to review security protocols at major tourist attractions and to increase cooperation with international law enforcement agencies to track the spread of violent extremist material online. As investigators continue to examine the suspect's digital footprint and personal history, the case serves as a stark reminder that the echo of past atrocities can reverberate in unexpected places, challenging societies to confront the underlying factors that fuel such violence. Ultimately, the shooting at Teotihuacan stands as a grim testament to how the allure of infamous violence can motivate individuals to seek notoriety through atrocity, regardless of geography or cultural context. It underscores the importance of vigilance, responsible content moderation, and proactive mental health support in preventing the spread of extremist inspiration. As the ancient stones of the Pyramid of the Moon bear silent witness to this modern horror, the hope remains that lessons learned will help safeguard both heritage sites and the people who come to marvel at them.